what point do you tell people about a new romance? I mean, 5 years, they kind of have kept it secret. I mean, have you done 5 minutes?
Actually, when I met Ray, I kept it secret for a while because obviously with the 2 boys, I didn't want to.
Oh yeah.
You know, I didn't want to say, "Oh, I've got a new boyfriend" and all of that. I wanted them all to get to know him first. Yeah. And I remember my niece kept saying, "You are seeing someone. What's he called? What's he called?" And I kept saying, "Bob." I don't know why I said Bob. It just came to me, yeah, Bob. So he was Bob for weeks, and then eventually, obviously, I had to introduce him.
And what was the big reveal then? How did you do that, given that they'd known him as sort of a friend called Bob?
Well, I just said, "This is actually my boyfriend Ray, and I am 6 weeks pregnant."
To pick with you. Every week I'm on, she's like, "Why'd you have to marry them so quick? Well, why'd you have to get pregnant so quick like me?" What was it, 6 weeks or 5 weeks? 6 weeks or 5 weeks?
What?
When you found out you was pregnant?
I met him in the July and I found out in the September that I was
right. So you don't have to make out I met him in July and then September as if it's some
But let me tell you something now as well. The funny thing is it was actually planned.
Oh, really?
Pregnancy. Yeah, it wasn't an accident because when I met him, I was 36, he was 42. And he was really, really, really broody. He'd always wanted a child, never met anyone that he wanted to have it with until he met moi. And also at 36, and I thought, you know what, it might take me years now to get pregnant, and you just kind of think we'd really, really... We were working together every single night, not in that way. And so we used to... The first, few weeks, we sat up chatting away, we knew everything about each other. And you know when something just feels right? And I thought we should, because it could take years. Yeah. And it didn't. It took just the one.
But it took you 7 years to get married.
7 years to get married.
But when you have a baby, that's for life. Marriage, you can get divorced. So
yeah,
why
but I knew I'd
so
always loved the baby, and I wasn't quite sure at that point I'd always love him. Yeah. So,
and you've met your soulmate as well.
And 16 years down the line, we're still together.
But just going back to James Martin and this whole thing. Oh yeah. You know, with James Martin, it's like 5 years it's been a secret. But actually, maybe it's just something that he wanted to kind of keep to himself. I mean, because there are no secrets anymore, aren't they? And I mean, Lisa, you know this because people are in and about your life like goodness knows what. I mean, are you able to keep relationships secret?
Yeah, I think it's called a private life for a reason, you know, because, with the magazines and what we do for a living, you know, our lives are splashed over the papers and stuff. And I think it's one thing that we are entitled to, you know. I want to go home, and home's home, and I don't want to sort of, you know, give all my relationship details to everybody. And I think for me, as has been well documented, you know, I've had failed relationships. I think that's been a big part of it. You know, there should be that transition where you go, you know what, tonight's the night where we have a cosy night in. And I don't think with James, for example, like you said, I don't think he's, you know, kind of kept it a secret. It's just he goes home and that's he's not broadcast it, because at the end of the day, he is a celebrity chef. He's great at what he does, and that's his skill. Do we care who he's sharing a bed with? Not really.
Well, we do actually. I do. But I mean, obviously, fully respect your right, and everyone's right to a personal life. Do you have a boyfriend at the moment?
I do. I'm very, very happy, and yes, I am.
How long have you been with him?
Just over 2 years now.
So he's been on you through your journey and everything?
Everything, and he's been my backbone and a full support, and I'm so grateful to him for that, because it's been hard for him as well. But it's nice to know that I'm going home for a snuggle and support.
But your friends as well, because of stuff you've been through in the past, your friends keep you kind of wrapped in cotton wool, don't they?
Fully, like literally, they were like, "Oh, not another one." They literally think it's going to be a disaster, you know. And a bit like you, Katie, I have had a tendency to jump in with 16 feet in the past, you know, and gone, you know, is everything? He's the one for me. And I've realised I've probably matured, and you know, as I've got older, I've realised that there's other aspects that you want from a relationship.
But do you reckon you will marry him?
Well, I don't know. There's an empty room.
No, ask her.
I don't know. You know, we're taking it slow, and it's working, and I'm really happy. For the first time in my life, I can say I am 100% happy, and I like it that way. I feel blessed. I feel very blessed.
Well, are you protecting this relationship?
Privacy.
Sorry, are you protecting this relationship?
I am protecting it, and do you know what? I really want to protect it. It's like a flower. I've put my water on my tulip, and I'm keeping it there for me. And then I can watch it grow.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, that's so lovely.
I mean it. It's true. It's my little tulip. Oh. Raise your rose. Raise your rose.
As I was saying, oh, hello, everyone.
Sorry, Casey, apologies.
No, everyone thinks that every relationship I've had is out in the public eye. It's actually not. I've had a few high-profile relationships that nobody even knows about, and they're not even in my books, nothing. So I can actually be private if I want to be. Yeah, I just thought.
But when do you choose to be and when do you choose not to be?
Well, you sort of discuss it with the person, because obviously if they're going to meet me, they might get scared and think, oh, no, I can't go out with her because her life's everywhere. And if you choose to be with someone who's like, well, I don't want to be everywhere, then you respect that. So then you don't go to events with them, you don't do, like, go to dinners where you know you're going to get packed. You know, of course you could keep it private.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you can keep it private.
Yeah, totally. But you just... Depends who you're with, doesn't it? But, you know, I'd like to put out there I can be private.
Yeah, absolutely.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.